When there's no more room in hell, the brain dead will film everything on Earth. Literally everything, every second, every minute, every hour of every waking day until the end of times. And then they'll just keep on goddamn filming, no matter how much logic, keep slapping them in the goddamn face to stop filming and maybe run for shelter. But above all else, just keep on goddamn filming, you fucking morons. I'm John Renton with the retro review of Diary of the Dead, written and directed by the godfather of the zombie genre, George A. Romero. No, really, the man that pretty much invented, popularized, however you want to phrase it, the zombie subgenre of horror. Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead, various versions of the Dead. Not Children of the Dead, Children of the Living Dead. I forget the exact phrasing of that. That one was really terrible and was only the bare bones of an idea. And George A. Romero probably said, no, that was really goddamn bad. Tom Savini did that, I believe. Nevertheless, this is found footage of the Dead. No, really, that's all it is. This came out in February of 2008. I have not seen this movie since it came out in theaters. And good God damn Christ, I hated it then, and I still hate it now. Why am I retro reviewing it? Because maybe, just maybe, it wasn't that bad. Maybe I was just in a bad mood 15 years ago. No. Every character makes every stupid goddamn decision, and yes, I know that's the point of found footage and zombie movies. I get it. You gotta make dumb decisions, otherwise you won't have a goddamn horror movie. But the problem is every character, despite every amount of logic basically just hurling into their goddamn faces constantly, no, let's do every single thing we can to do the dumbest things possible just to make sure that we can advance the meager plot such as it is. There were some on-the-nose lines that I will talk about in this, and there's not really anybody of note, though. Miss Tatiana, who played She-Hulk, yes, the woman that played She-Hulk in that series on Disney Plus that got a lot more hate, even though the woman that played She-Hulk, she's a pretty good actress. She's also really hot. It centers around a few friends. A few really stupid friends. They're stupid in their own way. And actually, it's amazing just how astonishingly stupid certain people are. And then people are like, oh, we're going to be even more stupid by making even dumber decisions. And it's just dumb decision after dumb decision after dumb decision. The zombie apocalypse hits. And above all else, keep filming. Just keep filming. Again, found footage. You expect that. But you would think with George A. Romero at this point must have just said, okay, I don't care if this movie's bad. You want to throw me a few $1 million to do this? I'll write and direct this shit. I'm getting paid just the same. My reputation is set in stone. I thought Land of the Dead was shit. Land of the Dead looked like Citizen Kane next to this. I should retro review Land of the Dead at some point. Also, yeah, Survival of the Dead. There was another one that came out after this that apparently used footage from this, and I have not seen that. I need to watch that at some point. If it's anything like this, I might literally just rather, cap myself like a zombie should. Joshua Close plays Jason. Not Heavy Rain Jason, no. The man that is making, well, he's a college film student, I assume. I don't know how old the guy was at this point. I don't really give a shit. But the character is filming. And above all else, don't stop ever filming. I have to film everything. Why do I have to film everything? Well, first they were making him and his friends and a professor that seemed just straight out of the Ian Holm, old man phase. I mean, really, that's, I think, who he was trying to channel. I'm not actually totally sure, but I'm kind of sure. You got Jason, who's filming a mummy movie. Then you got a woman named Tracy, Amy Landler, who actually is quite attractive, I do want to say. The one that I forgot about, actually, that really was just very fetching and really just pretty much one of the highlights of the movie as far as appearance, Michelle Morgan, who is gorgeous. Good Lord, whatever happened to her? I hope she's doing well. Nevertheless, every character is dumb, and I hate them. I absolutely hate them. So, let's talk about the movie, bit by bit, piece by piece, row by row. So we start with a police investigation. A guy killed his family, and then the family comes back to life and eat the paramedics, and then the zombie virus starts spreading. We see this because we have footage that's uploaded on the information superhighway. This is 2008 when things were going online. I mean, yes, the internet was less in its infancy at this point, but still, it isn't what it is now. Obviously, that's what technological advances are, and soon Skynet will become self-aware. We download this video off the net, not the Sandra Bullock 1995 movie. Man, 1995 had some weird shit. It also had Jade, Linda Fiorentino from Men in Black, and also a great car chase, and David Caruso's career. It's my turn. Wee. So, yeah, the corpses come back to life. I must advance plot. This can't be fucking happening. That should have been the tagline for the movie. Because I can't believe this is fucking happening. I remember watching this with one of my best friends. Like, one of my really, like, pretty much my longest best friend, actually, now that I believe I watched it with her. There's rioting and looting. Not as mounting moon terror continues to grip the cities. That was in Moonfall. This is just people saying, oh, zombies are killing? Let's loot. I mean, that's fair. It pretty much doesn't, take a zombie apocalypse to cause people to loot. But everybody's filming and all this stuff, and all these videos are being uploaded. And there's a germ of an idea that social media, or at least the burgeoning internet and the growing internet, would be used to combat the zombie virus. And this is how you could do it and stay hunkered in. Only go out when you need. Make sure you have plenty of food, plenty of stuff. That's why you always hoard shit. Maybe people in the pandemic, when they had all those, rolls of toilet paper and other things, maybe they were actually being kind of smart in case a zombie apocalypse of morons broke out. Like people that didn't believe that shit was going on. And there are, various reports of people are like, oh, it's not actually happening. It's not actually happening. And then more dead people keep popping up. The death of death. Yeah, this movie deserved a quick death. Unfortunately, this was 95 agonizing minutes that felt like 3 hours. So, a video made by Jason. Yeah, I can't unhear the word Jason, or name Jason, no matter how hard I try. 2 cameras. 2 types of cameras. And we know this because Deb, and look, Michelle Morgan, I assume, is actually a pretty good actress. They must have held her at gunpoint to have her say this narration in the most bland way possible, which, yes, you don't want to be all enthusiastic, like, oh, look, oh, here are all the zombies, all this and everything, but no, you could add a little enthusiasm. Are we sure that she wasn't bitten? Are we sure she wasn't one of those vocal zombies? Are we sure she wasn't like that zombie in Day of the Dead, where, it started to gain more of its mobility and was able to shoot a guy? Yeah, I actually would trust that zombie more than I would anybody else in this, and I'm pretty certain that actor's probably dead by now. So, the dead are coming back to life. Yeah, we know how this works, George A. Romero. You don't need to treat us like idiots. I mean, you can treat your characters like idiots. You do. You wrote them like idiots. But the news reports, all this stuff's going on. First, October 24th. This takes place basically over like a day or two. I think 2 days. I don't really. It's a 2-day. Yes, it is. So, there's a guy named Ridley who, no, it's not Sigourney Weaver. More than the pity. That would have been hilarious. Ridley is a rich boy. No. He takes Francine with him, and they go to their Fortress of Solitude house that Ridley has with his parents. And they're all rich. And we find out how much of a lack of solitude that fortress had. I don't think it's really going to take that much to figure out that really it's hard to outrun a zombie apocalypse. You can try to survive. And also, if you just make one dumb decision, just keep making dumber decisions. And maybe that'll make it okay. My God, Deborah is gorgeous. Michelle Morgan. That's what I wrote down here. So, the phone lines are suddenly down. He shot Ben! The line, actually, at one point. I believe from was it the Rat movie, Ben? Was it Ben or Food of the Gods? Genuine question. They did 2 Food of the Gods. I'm just throwing out random facts at this point because Diary of the Dead was so bad. Jason is an absolute fucking idiot is what I wrote down numerous times on these notes. Alright, so Mary, quite contrary, Miss Tatiana, is driving through a bunch of dead people and knocking them down like bowling pins. I wrote that down, and then about 3 minutes later, somebody referred to them being knocked down like bowling pins. Sure, stop in the middle of the field and just wander around while a zombie apocalypse is going on. It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry. It's fine. They're in an RV, by the way. All this stuff's going on where various people go to their residences, college, that kind of stuff, and they have to escape. They have to escape because they realize, oh shit, we probably should stick in a group. And then Mary is all upset because she ran over people, and she's very Catholic somehow. We know this because she picks up a necklace. And then she decides to pull a Chris Von Erich. Oh, if anybody gets that reference, they're going to goddamn hate me. But unlike Chris Von Erich, she survives. This is terrible. This is absolutely terrible. What did the Von Erichs ever do to me to warrant that? So, knowing that there's a zombie apocalypse, knowing that there probably aren't that many people to help, and you should keep moving, we're going to take our friend who's shot, who's about to die, when dead or coming back to life, to a hospital that still has functioning stuff, and also staff that are all dead. So, Gordy, I believe, is the name of one, and I believe his name's Gordy, and good God, is that where Jordan Peele got the idea from? Gordy? The monkey. That's terrifying. This movie isn't terrifying, though. Guy has a gun and guy shoots numerous people. Oh, shoot him in the head. Okay. And then Jason has to plug his camera in to stay charged and keeps an eye on Mary while various bodies are on the floor, like the nurse and the doctor and whatever. And then other people are getting shot. Deb almost gets pounced on. We hear about this off camera. And all the shit's going on, and suddenly Mary is undead now, and then she gets shot. The professor, by the way, was in a war. What war? I don't know. Could have been the first ever British war for how old he is. He decides to shoot Mary. Typhoid Mary, summer breeze. Wait, that's typo negative. But during this, Jason says, I can't leave the camera. You can, though. You could leave the camera and just leave it filming and come back a little bit later. I don't think the zombies are going to take it. I don't think the zombies understand how to pick up the goddamn camera. This is not VHS 2. VHS 2 hadn't even been thought of. VHS 1 hadn't even been thought of. Check out my retro review of VHS 2 if you want. That just got uploaded. And they just drive off eventually. Just drive off. And they get picked off during this whole thing. Like, the guy that ended up shooting, kind of looked like a bit like Skeet Ulrich, covered in blood from Scream. He ends up getting bit, so he gets shot by his girlfriend Tracy. And then they show more slow-mo recaps. And then we see Como 4 News. That, for anybody that's not a Washingtonian, is a Seattle-based local news outlet. And I know that because we have that channel, and I grew up on Como News. And, man, when you grow up in your local news, you recognize that shit. So, others are filming as well. Various people that have uploaded their goddamn things on the information superhighway. Then they get to a barn area, and there's a dead Amish, or a deaf and mute Amish guy that is named Samuel. I'm Samuel, hello, and he has a chalkboard that he conveniently can erase and write on very, very quickly. He's throwing dynamite at the zombies. That was kind of funny. There were brief moments where that was actually the funniest thing about this movie is a deaf-mute Amish guy, and I'm just picturing Amish Paradise playing as the guy's throwing the dynamite. And then the camera, Deb got a camera from the hospital earlier. And there was footage of a children's birthday party with a clown that clearly was a zombie, pulls the nose off. Oh my God, he's undead, bites the dad, and then the dad was one of the people that was at the hospital. It's all interconnected. Interconnected bullshit like the Human Centipede trilogy. Except there was less shit involved in that than there was in this. So, he has a zombie clown, the worst kind. Then the zombies surround the Amish barn. A zombie Amish barn raising. Easy for me to say. And then Samuel grabs a scythe, starts killing people, ends up getting bit trying to get into the RV. When they fix the fuel line, Tracy somehow knows how to do this, despite the fact her character is idiotic. She understands, briefly, how to fix a fuel line. and then he jams himself through his own skull with a scythe to kill him. So he doesn't come back after them, I guess. Samuel was the best character in the movie, by the way, and he didn't say a word. Wonder how the actor's doing. So, Deb, just... character's a terrible narrator. Terrible. I mean, I literally felt like, I was being given somas against my will because of how just tiring this was. And then, they get besieged by some random black guys that are military, and there's one called Stranger, played by Martin Roach. And Martin Roach, I mean, he did the best he could here, but his character wasn't given much. They are holed up in a compound. They have all these supplies, all this gas, all this stuff, and why not? They let their RV go in there, and they're going to fill them up. They're going to do all this stuff, but first we have to see them get online, the information superhighway, and we see various footage getting uploaded. Oh, and this guy hacked into the security camera footage because it's on a wireless network, despite the fact they mentioned that things are starting to go down. Somehow the internet here still works. Somehow? And Deb gets a message from her parents that apparently they're all right. That was sent yesterday, so they're probably not all right. By the way, the video that Jason had got uploaded to MySpace. Man, glory be the man Tom. Tom never asked anything of us. Got his money, got out. Good for him. So, yeah. Ridley and Francine are on the phone, a video phone, as it were. And clearly, everything's fine. Come on up here. I'm fine. She's fine. Everything will be fine by the time you get up here. And then we actually hear audio from Night of the Living Dead. Just, banging with the subtlety right there. And Martin Roach has one funny line because one of their guys died of a heart attack and suddenly, they can't find him. Oh, okay, just one of them's just wandering around. It's fine. And he says, everybody with a heartbeat freeze and shut up. It's a good dating policy to have unless you're a necrophiliac. And if you're a necrophiliac, you need help. I don't kink shame. That's gross. Deb then basically, people wander around stupidly. Jason and Tony and various characters I don't remember the names of. And then after the guy ends up getting killed with hydrochloric acid to the skull, melts in the zombie's brain. That's actually kind of creative. And then Deborah says, hey, we actually want some food. We want some stuff, some weapons. So they get weapons. And then the professor gets an arrow shirt as she gets a crossbow. See you at the crossbow so you won't be lonely. It's all over the world. The TVs are going out. Deb wants to go to her house, so they do. Oh, it turns out that the parents and the kid are actually dead. And now zombies. You probably should have thought about that. First, you take your friend who shot herself in the face at the hospital when she was going to die and come back, and now you think your parents, they clearly raised you, a goddamn idiot, are going to be able to survive that? Anyway, so yeah, people get killed. And shots of shit we've seen before. The professor's all morose. Rogue military nuts come in and steal their food and stuff. And they manage to get... We still get various, various recaps and clips and stuff like that. They manage to get to Ridley's place, but not before we see footage that was uploaded of these guys in hazmat suits trying to kill some people. These old people are there, and it turns out they had a whole bunch of family that got infected, including a guy that looked like a wannabe beetle. So they shot the remaining people shot the old people because one of the hazmat guys got bit, shoots himself in the head just before, well, actually, just after he said, hey, shoot them in the heart so they can come back because they can suffer. Okay, bit weird, but all right. Then there was one line. This is after Ridley welcomes him. He's clearly been bitten, by the way. He's clearly been bitten because the door's open. It's fine. And then There's one line from Jason to Tony. I don't want to make this kind of movie either, but I can't change the script. Technically, you can. You could, George A. Romero. Were you forced to not change the script? Probably. They were probably taking advantage of a very old man at that point, because he was approaching 70. I think he was 77 when he passed away. So, anyway, no, he would have been about 70 at this point. So, Ridley, clearly bitten. He says, oh, let's go get some food. I don't remember where the food is. He's acting all weird. And his girlfriend is dead because she got killed. The family and staff got buried in the pool. Apparently, you can just put zombies in the pool and they can't figure out how to get out. Yeah. Zombies have the same, ability to get out of a pool as Whitney Houston out of a bathtub. So then, Jason... They had this on the nose thing at one point because in the beginning they had Ridley as the mummy and Tracy as the woman that was getting pursued and had her tits out and everything, the push-up bra and whatnot, and they're and they're doing something at one point where Jason's filming all this, not helping Tracy. She's throwing her shoes. Who throws a shoe? Honestly. Ridley ends up getting knocked out at one point because he's trying to distract him. Under no circumstances do you put the camera down. This was egregiously annoying. Now, maybe that was the idea, but it's not like Jason was the only dumb character in this. And then they're going to go to the panic room. Jason says, I can't do that. Other people are getting picked off. We can't do that. We can't lock ourselves in a room. I have to finish my movie. Then he goes downstairs and Ridley is suddenly there high and then bites him. And then Deb takes the camera and films him. And then he shoots himself in the head. She's going to finish his movie. No, really, that's actually what she says. And then they're locked in the panic room and various people or various undead are wandering around, all this kind of stuff. And are they going to survive? Probably, because the zombies will end up moving on at some point. They're just going to shuffle their feet around because God shuffled his feet once, and so the undead. God shuffled his feet, as the crash test dummies once said. And on that note, this movie was shit. It was dog shit. George A. Romero should have been embarrassed that he made this, but he's dead, so I don't really think he cares, and also his legacy was already set in stone. And when a movie can make Land of the Dead seem great by comparison, whew. Anyway, agree, disagree, what I said, like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Rentlin. I'll see you soon.